friends, welcome to our Mathematics Student Support Program for Grade 7. In our previous programs, we have talked on algebraic expressions. Today, you will learn about algebraic equations. Also, you will learn about additive inverse and multiplicative inverse. Each part of a program will be followed by some exercises for you to practice. Let's begin with the difference between expressions and equations. We'll start with algebraic expressions. An algebraic expression is basically an incomplete mathematical sentence. Let's study this expression x plus 6. The value of x plus 6 will keep on changing as we substitute new values of x in the expression. For example, if x is equal to 2, then the expression will be x plus 6 is equal to 2 plus 6, where I have substituted the value of x by 2, and the answer will be 8. Expressions can be simplified or evaluated, whereas algebraic equation is a more complete sentence. Equations can be solved. Equations have solutions. An equation constrains the value of x. That is, there is only one value of x that will make this statement true. For example, let's have a look at this algebraic equation. X plus 6 is equal to 5. An equation has two sides, the left-hand side and the right-hand side, and always separated by an equal to sign. Both sides have the same value. Now this depicts the differences between expressions and equations. Also, what do they have in common? Expressions, no equal to sign, cannot solve unless given variable, and they can be evaluated. Equations, they have an equal to sign, must solve for variable, and we can solve them. What do they have in common? Both have operations, they have variables, and they have numbers. Now, here is an exercise for you to practice. State whether each of the following is an expression or an equation. Let's have a look at algebraic equations. An equation may have any number of variables. For example, x plus y plus z is equal to 9. But in grade 7, we will learn about equations involving one variable only. When we are asked to solve an equation, it means that we need to find the value of the variable or the unknown, so that the equation becomes a true statement. For example, let's have a look at this diagram. On one side, we have a 2. In order to balance the scale, we need to insert a 2 on the other side. Therefore, 2 is the solution in order to balance the scale. Now let's have a look at the second diagram. On one side, we have x, and on the other side, we have 8. In order to keep the scale balanced, what should be the value of x? The value of x is 8. We will have 8 on the left-hand side and 8 on the right-hand side, which will keep the scale balanced. Therefore, an algebraic equation is like this balance. It has a left-hand side and it has a right-hand side. And both sides have the same value. Let's have a look at this equation. Solve 4x is equal to 16. This means we need to find the value of x, so that we multiply it by 4, we obtain 16. Now, if we work out this equation by trial and error, the value of x is 4. 4 makes this sentence correct. It is called the solution of equation. X is equal to 4 is the solution of this equation. Let's have a look at example 2. I think of a number, add 9 to it, and the result is 17. Write this equation in x, where x is the unknown number. This word problem can be written mathematically as x plus 9 is equal to 17. Here is an exercise for you to practice. For each of the statements below, write an equation in x. Let's move on to solving algebraic equations. Solving an equation means finding the value of a which will make the statement true. On the left-hand side, we have a plus 9. On the right-hand side, we have 15. Now, plus 9 has to be eliminated on the left-hand side. To do so, we have to subtract 9 on both sides of the scale to be balanced. We subtract 9 on the left-hand side. We subtract 9 on the right-hand side. After subtracting 9 from both sides, we get a on one side and 6 on the other side. Therefore, the solution of this equation is a is equal to 6. Now, let's move on to the additive inverse. The additive inverse of a number is the number that needs to be added so that the sum of the two numbers is 0. For example, the additive inverse of 3 is minus 3, since 3 plus minus 3 is equal to 3 minus 3, which is equal to 0. The additive inverse of minus 7 is 7, since minus 7 plus 7 is equal to 0. When we solve an equation and when we need to eliminate a constant term, we need to use the additive inverse of the constant. Now, how about the coefficient of a variable? How do we eliminate the coefficient? Note that to eliminate the coefficient, we use the multiplicative inverse of the coefficient. Let's have a look at the definition. Multiplicative inverse. The multiplicative inverse of a number is the number that needs to be multiplied so that the product of the two numbers is 1. For example, the multiplicative inverse of 2 is half, since 2 multiplied by half is equal to 1. Another example, the multiplicative inverse of minus 1 over 7 is minus 7, since minus 1 over 7 multiplied by minus 7 is equal to 1. So, to eliminate the coefficient of a variable, we use multiplicative inverse. Here is an exercise for you to practice. Here are some interesting links that you can check for further notes. So today, friends, we have talked about the definition of an equation, the difference between an expression and an equation. We have also talked about additive inverse and multiplicative inverse. You are advised to work out the exercises with your friends, teachers, or parents. Hope you have enjoyed our program. Till next time, it's goodbye.